e-bike. It's my e-bike to be precise. It's a Ride 1-Up Roadster V2. That's what it is. And I recently read a really interesting statistic published by NPD that from the month of July 2020 to the month of July 2021, the sales of e-bikes have increased by 240%. And well, with the knowledge of that statistic, I would say that the odds are pretty good that you who have clicked on this video are in line for purchasing possibly your first e-bike. Small disclaimer here, this is not normally the type of content I make, but I've had this e-bike for a little while now. I've had one before it, but this one I've changed a couple things to make it my own. And in the almost, after today, 100 miles that I've ridden on it, there's a few things that I think are very much worth noting for someone who's thinking about getting an e-bike but has never ridden one for any extended period of time. So my first point, and this is prompted completely by disappointed reviews about e-bikes and their top speed. E-bikes are not motorcycles. So when you're shopping for an e-bike and you look at like class 3 and you're like, ooh, top speed of 28 miles per hour. That does not mean it will sustain 28 miles per hour and get the full range that you're expecting. As a matter of fact, it'll very rarely get to that top speed consistently. You might touch it a couple of times, but in my experience, you'll almost always be 3 or 4 miles per hour slower than what the quoted top speed is. So second thing, as we go up this little climb here, is e-bikes are heavy. Like, they just are. Sort of unavoidable when you throw on a battery and an electric motor. And so, yeah, obviously, when you've got pedal assist, the extra weight, like the weight penalty, not that detrimental to a ride. If your battery dies, or you decide you want to turn your battery off for a little while just to see how it feels, it's noticeable. It's more than noticeable. It's significantly noticeable. And it's kind of, sort of made worse by the gearing that is normally spec'd on just about every e-bike. Whether it has gears or it's single speed like mine, it's usually really, really tall, high speed gearing. Because the expectation is, well, you're going to use pedal assist when you're going up a hill, so you don't need super easy gearing for that. This Ride 1-Up Roadster V2, it came with belt drive with a really big, like 64 tooth ring, and I think a 20 in the rear. Crazy high gear inches. And because I keep riding this bike until it's dead and further, those gear inches was just, it was like too much for me to really handle. So I've swapped it to a 42/16, which makes the bike that much nicer to actually pedal when there's no pedal assist at all. So yeah, the weight, it's noticeable, very noticeable. Can you pedal it? Can you get around on it with no pedal assist? Of course you can. It's still lighter than just about every loaded touring bike out there. It's just, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's like 10, 15-ish pounds heavier than an equivalent non-electric bike of the same style. Now, note 3 is heavily associated with note 2, that of added weight. But in addition of that added weight, you've got the added torque and power output from the electric motor that's on the bike, resulting in a machine that absolutely shreds tires to bits. Most notably rear tires, absolutely decimates tires. This limited edition Ginger Gravel King has less than 90 miles on it right now, and it looks like it's got 2,500 miles on it. But the weight and the power, all the torque that goes through that tire, digging into all the imperfections of the road, the added stress that it goes through, it's a really soft, beautiful tire to ride on a regular bike. It's a really soft, nice tire to ride on this, but it doesn't love the abuse. It's killing that rear tire so unbelievably quick, like way quicker than I actually expected, which sucks because these tires look so good on this bike with the matching grips. And it's like, oh, am I gonna be able to get a set of Ginger tires for this thing again? Note number 4. I actually think note number 4 is pretty well documented. Most people know about it, especially with mid-drive e-bikes. Drivetrains, ugh, they go through drivetrains like crazy. Mid-drive motor, putting however many watts it can through a chain consistently at like from 0 to high torque over and over and over again. That'll wreak havoc on chain ring, and cassette. Hub drive's a little better because all the power comes out of the hub and it helps you that way. So you won't really be going through drivetrains with a hub drive motor. But mid-drive, if you're using like a Bosch mid-drive, or you put like a kit on from Luna Cycles or something like that, and you're running like, oh, God forbid, you're running like 11 speed, forget about it. Okay, so there's a 5th little bonus note, a little point that I want to add in at the end of this, and it has everything to do with range anxiety, because I understand the anxiety that you might get about the range of your e-bike. Are you truly going to be able to go that far? And in my experience, when you first start riding an e-bike, the novelty of the acceleration and everything in the highest level, it takes a little bit of time to get over that. So your first few rides, you'll actually probably ride the bike at full power and absolutely deplete battery life really quickly. And you'll get absolutely abysmal range. And that can be demoralizing. But like today's ride is a loop that I've done numerous times on this bike. It's about, I think it's like 16 miles, and I've done it in the past and killed the entire battery from full charge to the end. But like by the time I'm actually getting home, the battery is totally dead. Today I used 1 bar, and that 1 bar only disappeared by the time I was getting back on to my street. So there you go. I hope those may be new things that you perhaps had not considered about an e-bike that you're shopping for before. I hope it's not deterring you from getting anything. I think it's worth managing the expectations of what you will get with an e-bike. I actually find them super fun. I like how practical they are, how useful it is, especially how far we live away from the city. This does a better job of getting me into the city and dealing with, having to go places than a car does, because sitting in traffic is stupid and looking for parking is stupid.